Now here's one that I've been really excited about. It's time to put some brawn in your brawn and have some fun with the Transformers Titans Return Legends class this time. Legends class Brawn. And we're going to look at him and some custom paint work that I did on him in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, share, check out Machinery of Man and the Everything Factor. I'm working hard on the season finale of Universal Collision, my stop motion series, so check that out. Hopefully I'll stay on schedule for the end of the season, and check me out everywhere. Now, way back in episode 136, about, if I was to take a guess, I would say about 10 months or so ago, I took a look at this. This is, and I'll take him out of it, this is the Titans Return Brawn. And when we took a look at this guy, and you know, here's the little Titan Master. When we took a look at this guy, I said, yeah, okay, I get what they were going for. I understand that it's cute and, you know, the kids might like it and whatnot. But it wasn't for me, and I lamented that we didn't have a proper Brawn and said, hey, if you really want, you could, you know, use this beautiful head sculpt on somebody. A lot of people, I think, have used hard head, and that works, but it still was not proper. And then, in the most peculiar of moves imaginable, this guy was announced. And now I finally have him. So, that being said, we're going to do a couple of housekeeping things here before we talk about him. And the first, of course, being his box art. It's, you know, it's your typical box, except the art is really cool. I don't know what he's holding up here, but it's really showcasing his strength. And I like that. I think that kind of rocks. Here he is on back. Now, I'll say this. The yellow that was used in the render for the product shot here on the back is different than the kind of orangey yellow, school bus yellow that we got on the figure, but I think that was a good move. I think that was the right move. It is more accurate. Brawn loves a challenge, even if it's Decepticons 10 times his own size, so we all know that about Brawn, though, don't we? And here is his ever popular collector card. We get a better look at that beautiful art. Notice the silver around his knees. The green is a bit of a lighter color. Honestly, this is more accurate. Just slightly, but it is more accurate on the back. Well, you can see right there, his biggest asset is his strength, and that is completely accurate for the character. I love it. I think it's fantastic. You know, and of course he comes with instructions, and they're instructions. I don't usually bother to show that. Okay, bringing this guy back in, and we're going to reorient ourselves here. Maybe I'll put him. He's your typical green and yellow, I guess you could say, or green and orangey sort of color. You know, it is what it is. He has the silver on his forearms, which it's really weird. It looks like the forearms, if you look down, you know, in the like 5mm peg of his hand, the forearms seem to be molded in yellow, then painted silver, which is great, and then for some engine bits out here, it looks like it was painted yellow again. That's weird. You'll notice some blue here on the windows. That is custom. it's not the way he comes, but I'll talk about that when we get him in vehicle mode. So what did I do custom here? Not much. I did put silver on his kneecaps. That's not there. It is just green for the legs the entire way down. And you probably can't even see this one, but on his abdomen, next to the blue, on each side of it, there are two little indentation, molded out dots. Those are actually supposed to be silver as well, so I painted those in. It would have been nice if I could have got yellow in behind his head instead of the green that's there, but I'm really, that would be such nitpicking, and I really don't think I could remove the head to do it. I'm sure that you probably could, but I think it's more work and trial and tribulation than it's worth. And of course, that brings up the question that a lot of people are going to have. Hey, can I use my Titan Master Brawn head on it? No, I don't think. I feel like it would be a bit too big. Honestly though, both of those are very nice sculpts. See if I can bring this guy in and show both of them off a little bit better here. So there's the Legends class head. Here's the Titan Master head. Now they're both nice. I think the Legends class head is a little more animation accurate. I feel like the Titan class head or the Titan Master head has more, I don't know, stylistic detail to it, so it really depends what you like, but I have no problem whatsoever with the head sculpt that this guy comes with. I thought I might, but seeing it in hand, I really don't. Out of package, without the couple of custom paint apps, I'm going to say that overall his paint would be a good 8.5 anyway. Granted, a couple of unpainted windows in vehicle mode, missing a couple of silver apps here, but it's still no mistaking at all. It's Brawn. It's fantastic. Some people have said, hey, that's not the right hue shade of green. It's too dark. It's close, if not completely correct, for his G1 toy. It is darker than it would be for animation, but I found that the animation green was more of like a pea green type of coloring. The Japanese version is going to have that, and I've seen it, and I admit that it's accurate. I don't think I like it better though. I think I actually like the dark green better. With the apps I've added in both vehicle mode and this mode, as small and minor as they are, I think it brings the guy up to a solid 9.5 for paint apps. I really do. The only 0.5 that's off is that the green hue is a bit of a different color, and behind his head is green instead of yellow. It really doesn't bother me. Does it bother you? If so, maybe the Japanese release of this guy will be more to your taste, but I really think that this is the Brawn update that we've been waiting for a long time. And I'm so very happy that we are finally getting it. Articulation. The head can move left and right. Some people say that it's really hard to move the head. Not really. Mine moves easily. No problems there. People say that the shoulders go around nicely, and so they do. He bends over 90 degrees at the elbow, a little over 90 degrees. It's on a ball joint, so it goes left and right. The shoulders can go up this far. They kind of get hindered slightly. They can't go up perfectly. My shoulder joints out of package were so very tight that I popped both of the shoulders off. Now they just pop back on, but they were really tight out of package. I've had to work them a little bit. We have legs that go out this far. Again, Brawn being the combatant that he is, I don't really think of him being super agile, so I think that I'll give him a pass there because I think that's good enough. We go forward nicely all the way. We go back nicely, really all the way. We have a very deep knee bend, really. Now you kind of lose sight of the thigh here on the side, but I mean, come on. Obviously, he's bending his knee. It's, again, no problem at all with that. This guy, unlike a lot of legends, does have a dedicated thigh swivel, which I think is really nice. And something that I don't know if I've ever seen, or at least very rarely, he has a heel spur back here. So, you know, maybe that can help you a little bit with stability, but though he stands really well anyway, I'm sure, in part because of the heel spur. I love the detailing molded into this guy. Maybe some more paint to make that pop and highlight would have been nice, but he really does look the part. He looks fantastic. The articulation is great for the class size. It really is. Again, I'm going to give that, even though he's missing a waist. That's the big drawback with this guy, but I'm giving that a solid 9. He has so much going for him. It's a solid 9, even despite the couple of slight limitations. Now, this thing back here that has a spare tire on it, you can peg it in right there and you can just leave it on his back, which I dig. I like that feature. I'm glad that I can do that because I had wondered if I would be able to, and yay! That's great. Or, of course, you can take it off. And it can peg into a 5mm port on, I guess, the back of his forearm, the back of his wrist, and you get this thing. Now, some people have said it's a shield. I don't know if Brawn would really use a shield, but actually, I feel like up right here, these 4 are supposed to be blasters. I think it's a shield blaster, if that's a thing. So I kind of dig it. He actually did come with, you know, some semblance of a blaster. So I like that, and it's not your typical blaster. That being said, if you really wanted it to be your typical blaster, can it go in his hand? If you want it, I mean, you can put it in his hand. You know? So, that too is an option. And those are tight. Like, once it's in, it's not going to fall out at all. So I think that that's, again, fantastic. We'll go into the transformation, I guess, last, or next, and I'll kind of, you know, show where the Titan Master can integrate here. So, yeah, I mean, the guy right now is scoring a solid 9.25. It is a great figure. The articulation. You want to turn the arms so that this detailing, which is basically, I guess, a gas canister, is out to the side. So this 5mm port on the forearm is facing forward. Same over here. The instructions say to turn the head. I do it, but if you don't want to, honestly, you really don't have to. It doesn't change anything. I would do it because my head turns pretty easily. Way easier than it did on Power Glide way back when. Next, you collapse the arms up. And when you, actually, I guess I should explain this. When you collapse the arms up, the forearms go in underneath here. So you collapse the arms up, you place the forearms in underneath their slots, and you squeeze all of the front of the vehicle together. There's the front, done. No problem. All we do is turn the head around and bring up the shoulders and position the forearms underneath. The legs. Now, I think it helps if you pull up this piece, to be honest with you. You can do it without it, but I think it helps if you pull up that kind of canopy section. The legs go pegged together. Some people have said that the peg doesn't hold very well. I find that mine does. Quite tight, actually. You take the heel spurs and you fold them in, just like that, and then you fold the legs up. When you fold the legs up, there are 2 little slots right up here, and there are tracks kind of down here on the bottom of the heel spurs. The tracks on the bottom of the heel spurs need to go into the, we'll say, the sliders up on the body. So you fold these up, and you fold that in like that, and then you take this and you fold it down, and really that's it. You really have them in vehicle mode. Now it's a bit of a different take than his original vehicle mode. This is kind of more like a, I don't know, more like a Hummer-inspired type of vehicle mode, I guess. But that being said, if you wanted to be more reminiscent, there's a 5mm, there's two little pegs right here back on the legs. And on his shield piece, besides for the 5mm peg, there are two little rectangular tabs. So you can take this and slot it on over right there, just like that. You still have a 5mm port up here, because of course that's what this was pegged into in robot mode. And on the tire, I think you have a 3mm port. I don't know, for a flight stand or a 3mm blaster or something. I don't know. You can see I did take, I guess, a bit of inspiration from the Japanese release. I've done all of the windows in blue, all the way around. I do love the look of that. I think it is fantastic. But here he is in vehicle mode. It is a quick, easy, fun, fantastic transformation. 10. He was a 9.25. The guy's a 9.75. The only fault with him is if you don't like the shade of green. The Titan Master capability, again, not a feature I'm ever going to use, but you basically open up this, you take the Titan Master, in this case we're going to use Brawn, you put him in there, and you bring this down, and you're going to say, wait, hey, that's not all the way down. It's not, because the spacing here for that 5mm port that's on the top means that when you put this guy in, you really have to make sure that he is positioned in there absolutely correctly, because if he's not, and I need to see this up close, but if he's not positioned in there absolutely, positively correctly, then that piece will not go down at all. So I'm just ensuring that I have him in there for you. And when you have him in properly, he should look like this. That's the orientation that you want him. You need the head forward a little bit. I think what's happening is when you push this down, I think the head is actually fitting up into this little hole on the top. I believe that's what's happening. But it's not hard. I mean, you fiddle with it for a minute, and there you go. You know, here he is next to his Titan Master release. You know, this was a cute little vehicle. I still don't get the triangular treads on it. I don't get that. I appreciated the homage that this was going for, but it wasn't right. So no, thank you. Overall, he's a 9.75. I guess Japanese release is, I would guess, a 10. You know, but in all honesty, whether you go for this one or go for that one, I really think, you know, we've had times as fans where we do a whole lot of debating. And if you're wondering, by the way, what I'm doing here as I give these final thoughts, I want to get him back in his robot mode because I just want to do a comparison that I didn't do earlier. Anyway, that being, pardon me, that being said, whether you get that release or this release, I think that you're safe in having the Brawn that we've all kind of wanted and deserved as fans for a really, really, really long time. While as fans we do a lot of debating about which version is better, the Japanese version or, you know, your typical Hasbro release version, I think in this case there's no real debate. It depends on what color green you like. I just wanted to show him off real quickly before we end here. You know, here he is with Titans Return Bumblebee, just to show him with another mini-bot. I looked at B in full in episode 257. He scales well. He's ever so slightly bigger than B. Definitely more hench. That's Brawn. I love him. He is someone that I highly, highly recommend to any collector, to any fan. I really think that, you know, as happy as I am to have him, you probably would be too. Anyway, folks, that's it for him. You know that I appreciate you dropping by. I always do. I thank you for giving me some of your very valuable time. And hey, I really look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the video.